Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down an absolutely chaotic opening weekend in the Premier League. Look, if you thought last year's standings gave you a neat little script for Matchweek 1, well, you can just go ahead and tear that right up. The numbers are in, and they are pointing to what's going to be a remarkably thrilling and totally unpredictable season. Right out of the gate, Matchweek 1 proved that historical dominance guarantees you absolutely 0 points. I mean, the historic badges on the front of those shirts, they were completely overshadowed by just pure hunger out there on the pitch. It just proves that in this league, any team can strike on any given day. Section 1, champions start with intent, setting the baseline. So before we get into the real madness, Arsenal did exactly what we all expected. They kicked off their title defense with a highly convincing 3-0 victory over Coventry. No opening day jitters here, no underdog slip-ups at all. Just clinical, ruthless execution to remind every single one of us exactly why they're wearing the crown. Section 2, shockwaves and upset alerts. The reality check. Okay, so if Arsenal gave us the expected reality, Hull City delivered the absolute defining shockwave of the weekend. We're talking about a newly promoted side stepping right back into the top flight, and they completely stun a behemoth like Manchester United 2-0. They didn't just barely survive the match, they walked away with a clean sheet and all 3 points. Just incredible. But, the ruthless nature of this weekend didn't stop there. Take Brentford, for instance. They didn't just edge out Tottenham. A 3-0 scoreline tells you everything you need to know about a new-look Spurs squad getting completely, and I mean completely dismantled. And then there's Brighton. They delivered an absolute tactical masterclass to crush Aston Villa. Actually, let's just hover on that Brighton performance for a second, because, wow, 4. That is how many goals they scored before the referee even blew the whistle for halftime. Leaving a Champions League chasing team like Villa literally shell-shocked in 45 minutes is just a staggering statement of intent. Section 3, drama and late winners. Down to the wire. Even when the heavy favorites somehow managed to avoid an upset, they were dragged into absolute nail-biters. City really had to sweat it out against Bournemouth. They required a super dramatic late Josko Gvardiol winner just to snatch the 3 points. It really goes to show that even the most technically gifted squads in the world have to rely on pure, unadulterated grit when that clock is ticking down. Meanwhile, over at St. James's Park, a thrilling 2-2 draw proved that both Liverpool and Newcastle are bringing some serious heavy-hitting firepower into this campaign. I mean, it was a totally chaotic end-to-end affair where both sides showed they can go toe-to-toe and trade blows with the best of them. Section 4, the football IQ takeaway, actionable intelligence. So, what does this all actually mean for the season ahead? Well, looking at the early data, our winners are crystal clear. Arsenal definitely proved their pedigree. Brighton showed us some devastating flair. Brentford completely exposed the tactical vulnerabilities in top-tier opposition. And Hull City? Well, they gave us a beautiful reminder that the magic of the underdog is very much alive and well. But on the flip side of that coin, Manchester United, Tottenham, and Aston Villa are flashing some major early warning signs. Think about it. All 3 of these clubs walked into this weekend with massive, sky-high expectations, and now all 3 are heading back to the training ground knowing they need to find some tactical answers, and they need them right now. Now look, it's obviously way too early to make any sweeping title or relegation predictions, but if we've learned absolutely anything from this weekend, it's that history doesn't win matches. Reputations mean literally nothing once that whistle blows. The teams that succeeded were simply the ones willing to outwork the famous badge standing right in front of them. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder ahead of Matchweek 2. Was all of this just opening weekend madness, or are we witnessing the dawn of the most unpredictable season we've ever seen? Will the traditional hierarchy restore itself, or are the underdogs going to just keep right on biting? We'll find out soon enough for sure. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you in the next explainer.